When this banner drops, I have to show Hu Tao my commitment to her and go broke on this stat because she deserves the best. What's up guys, we'll be talking about the new weapon banner. I don't really suggest weapon banners, but this is a hard one to pass up. Other than being a Hu Tao shrimp, the 4-star lithic weapons are crazy good and should be considered if you can't get even the 5-star weapons. First, let's start off with the 4-star weapon. Other than the lithic weapons, I think the Wood Sith is a monstrous support burst weapon. It provides crit damage as the main stat, and then it gives you 3 different buffs. At R1, 60% attack buff from Recitative. Arya gives 48% for elemental damage and 240 EM. If you're looking to make a montage with Unga Bunga damage, this is the weapon for your supports. The buff only lasts for 10 seconds with 20-second downtime. The passive can easily surpass a 5-star weapon, but during that 20 seconds of downtime, you cannot use this as a main DPS weapon, so I would only suggest using this as a burst support. And if you want to use a character in co-op, I highly suggest not using this and using different weapons since you're going to have 20 seconds of weakness. Next up, Lion's Roar. It's a decent sword with the attack main stat, good stat for most DPS. Passive is niche to just Pyro and Electro by 20%. But this can be used as a good stat stick. I think this is a weaker weapon out of the 4-stars, but it's still a decent weapon. Sacrificial Bow. Good support bow, has energy recharge which you want on most supports to activate more elemental bursts. More bursts means more elemental particles and whatnot, more damage overall. Also has a chance to recharge its skill cooldown by 30 seconds, which is huge for a unit like Diona or any other unit that has a long cooldown on her elemental skills. So this is pretty good for most characters, only if they're support, just because the energy recharge you typically want it on supports. You want attack, crit chance, damage on the damage dealers. Now we're going to talk about the 4-star lithic weapon. I'd only consider it worth it if you can have at least 3+ members from Liyue in your party. We'll start with the lithic blade, 41.3% at level 90. This will get you the highest attack percent out of all the 4-star weapons, which is against the prototype archaic and the royal weapon. Also is shy 8% away from the Wolf's Greatstone and the Unforged, which are 5-star weapons. And this isn't even including the passive that the lithic blade gives, which is another increase in attack percent if you can fulfill its requirements, making this a really strong blade. We go look at the lithic spear. Attack percent up to 27.6%, same as the other 4-stars. For both lithic, if you have the passive at max stats, you will gain a minimum of 12% crit rate and 28% attack. I think if you get either of the lithics, it will be a great addition to your team. Looking at this spear, it will also give you crit rate along with extra attack on top of this. Now let's take a quick look at the 5-star weapons. What I consider to be an all-around good weapon in the game is the Wolf Greatstone. Has an attack percent main stat, a whopping 608 base attack. Its attack is one of the lower ends, but it has a huge attack percent increase up to 49.6 at level 90. And then you have another 20% attack from R1 passive. So on top of that, in total it's about 70% attack percent increase, and can be used by almost any greatsword user to help the party get stronger from the 40% buff if the enemy's health is low. From my personal experience though, because of having so much attack, it's pretty difficult for me to get more crit rate, crit damage, since this provides neither, but it's a huge stat stick and buff for your team that is definitely a good weapon to pick up if you don't have it already. As you can see, I tried to get, she's currently running a crit rate helmet just to have a 1-2 with the crit damage. So I haven't been lucky on her substats, so it's pretty hard to have really good stats with a attack percent weapon, even though the passives are very good. And now, the Homa Staff, the prize of this whole weapon banner. If you're going for Hu Tao, you're going to main Hu Tao. It's hands down the weapon for her. You want a decent weapon for Zhongli, considering his buffs, he would do well with this weapon as well, due to the HP percent increase by 20%, and he scales off that, along with 0.8% increase to attack based on the wielder's HP. You're covering crit damage and attack. How isn't this a weapon to be happy about? It has lower attack than Skyward and Primordial J-Spear, but this provides you with attack percent from its passive, and the only polearm giving a whopping 66.2% critical damage at level 90. That's as much as a helmet. Level 20 helmet, 62.2%. This will make Hu Tao even easier to build, and just focusing on getting a crit rate main stat helmet rather than the crit damage, because you gain so much from just her weapon by itself. The second part of this passive is really good for Hu Tao, because if Hu Tao gets less HP, she starts getting even more stronger, and this weapon will enable her even further. This one is a no-brainer for Hu Tao fans, if you want to min-max her. If you're free to play, consider trying your luck on this banner at least once or twice to pull for a lithic weapon. They are monstrous 4-star weapons. Also, if you don't have the Wolf's Gravestone or Staff of Homa, this will up your account's power by a ton. Please consider the weapons that you have already. With the extra power, you might not even need it. Like if you have a prototype Archaic, totally fine, you can do it. Crescent Pike or the prototype Glitter, those are decent free to play weapons as well. So really think about it. If you can't spend, the last banner that was this good was probably Wolf's Gravestone with Lost Prayers. If you're in my boat and you have Wolf's Gravestone but looking for a Staff of Homa or the lithic weapons, I try a couple of times to see if I can get lucky, and then we go all in on this banner. Show Hu Tao that we gotta show our commitment to her. No, the smart thing to do is wait for Hu Tao to come out. She's coming out next week, and then proceed to the weapon after. Especially if you might not like her, you might not want to get a weapon for her. Anyways guys, thanks for watching. Good luck on the weapon banner pulls, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.